All right, so guys, at this point, we're going to get into my favorite part of the compensation plan in terms of the driving of behavior, but a quick recap. What you guys should have noticed so far is that we got a plan that takes the little guy, gets them the money back quickly, and gets them free product, right? Handles their concerns of, if I put money in, am I going to get money out? And also, my auto ship. The other thing you should have saw is that we are very passionate about the middle class. The stronger the middle class, the stronger your company will be. The longer it will last. The smaller the middle class in your company, I'm talking about, the less successful it will be. So if your company has two classes, rich and poor, it doesn't matter how rich that guy is with the helicopter, the Lamborghini, and the this and the that. Eventually, everyone who's not making anything is going to walk, and it will unravel. Our company focuses on the middle class. Let's put a BMW in every single driveway and a couple grand a month. And if we can do that, then we will hold for a really, 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 really long time. But you also should notice that we got a comp plan that feeds the big guy to continually go out there and add new people, rewards them for adding those new people, but at the same time rewards the person that they're helping out in terms of placement. So it's a really interesting, intriguing comp plan on all levels. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a few team building advantages. Okay? Team building advantage number one. We have what's called rolling volume. What rolling volume states is that anyone that starts on the 15th of a month or later, every dollar in volume that they do will roll into the next month. So if this is the month of June, this is the month of July, and this is the 15th of June right here. Let's say somebody starts on the 25th. They do $1,800 in sales. They're $200 short of director. Well, in our old comp plan and a lot of our competitors' plan, when that month flips, that $1,800 is going to turn into what? Zero. So we got tired of the little guy getting upset about with their upline, like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? I started on the 28th. I did 1,800 and now I'm back down to zero. Okay? So after a while, what would their upline start doing? Hold the apps, hold the apps, hold the apps. Well, what we've done is we've created a way for the little guy to not be punished, but actually to get a benefit. If they do that 1,800, it's going to roll into July. They're going to start with 1,800 in July for their rank qualification volume. And everything they do will just grow on top of 1,800. So not only do people put the apps in at the end of the month, it's actually to your advantage to put the apps in at the end of the month as opposed to a disadvantage if you hold the app for that person. So guys, that is what rolling volume states. And you know, it was a piece of the comp plan that we created for the little guy, allowing them to make sure that they're never going to be in a situation where they're going to drop to zero and have their heart broke and et cetera, et cetera. However, there is very, very, very unique situations where you'll meet a person who has a special skill or talent, specifically in network marketing, where they have the ability to reach the top of the comp plan in a very short time frame. Now, what will tend to happen with that particular individual is we would start them on the 15th of the month and give them a 45-day run at their story. You get one shot and one shot only to make your story. What you'll notice throughout the entire organization is every one of my top ambassadors started on the 15th of the month. And they hit within 45 days or less. And that was not an accident. How this happened was when I became a distributor, We already had this rule. When I became a distributor, I turned to my top guy and said, hey, Mike, when should we start? January 1st? No, everyone's going to be on holiday. January 2nd? January 3rd? Man, this is bad. Everyone's going to be at, hello, January 15th. So we realized that as top networkers, we could get 45 days worth of volume into 30 days to create our story. Now, I will say that this is only for people that can hit the top in 45 days, because conversely, you get that, what I just said, out there into the public, and it will backfire in a major, major, major way. Because what will happen is you'll have everybody wanting to start on the 15th of the month. You'll cut 4 weekly checks down to 2 weekly checks, and you're going to realize that you're going to just destroy production. Because the average person, whatever they can do in 45 days, they can do in 30 days. Because you and I both know they're going to procrastinate for 2/3 of it anyways before they actually go out there and do it. So what happens is sometimes we get people that think they're doing someone a favor. I'm going to hold them for 7 days and start them, not realizing what they're doing is punishing that person and themselves, because they're going to waste the first 2 to 3 weeks, and then they're going to get serious. So why not just get them serious out of the gates, because the time is ticking. But there are cases where a person can hit presidential director and ambassador in 45 days. And there are situations when it makes sense. This particular case would be a situation where we would start you on the 15th of the month and give you a 45-day run at the top of the comp plan, allowing you to maximize your story to its greatest potential. And this is a small thing that offers a big, big upside to you as a networker to get a 45 days worth of volume into 30 days. Watch how else this works. Everything you do in your first 2 weeks of June 15th to July 1st, every dollar you put in, it's going to roll. So if you go do 40,000, you're going to start with 40,000 on the 1st of next month. You should have got that from the first explanation. But here's what you might not have saw. Our auto ship dates are the 5th, the 12th, and the 19th, which means everybody you put in here is going to auto ship here, which means every person you put in here is going to give you about 1.5 times the volume at the end of the 45-day run. I didn't even realize this when I went into the field. I had to see it 2 or 3 times where I said, holy cow. Okay, watch. If you put in an executive success system at $4.99 and they auto ship with a $2.49, that means you're getting $750 for that person in total GQV as opposed to $4.99. So those first 2 weeks, every person you don't get in, you're missing a 50% volume factor on them. Every person you do get in is worth an extra 50% in volume when they auto ship in that next month. So not only are you adding 40,000 plus July's volume, but you're also adding the auto ship volume on top of all of those folks that came in that first 2 weeks as well. Really giving you a huge opportunity to get to the highest ranks in the comp plan possible in the shortest amount of time. Because if you have a story that sounds like that, you're in absolutely positively good shape. Okay, let's go to we already talked about weekly rank promotion. If you get promoted during a week, it'll pay you retroactive for that week. There's also a 60-day grace period, 2-month grace period, after you hit regional director or higher. Just in case you fall back, it grandfathers you in for 60 days. Okay? Because of the fact that sometimes you run to a position really hard, you hit it, and you got to recover for a month and go get it again. It'll keep you locked in there. Now, I have absolutely positively saved the best part for last in our comp plan. This is the second most important thing I'm going to tell you tonight. Does anyone remember what the first most important thing it was that I kept harping on over and over and over again? Okay, now good. Actually, you guys are making good points. Let me restate this. Not just in the comp plan, but everything we talked about tonight. In the first hour, I kept harping on something over and over and over again. We are a challenge. We are a challenge. The reason why we are in momentum is we are a challenge. That's the reason why we're in momentum number 1. Now I'm going to show you the reason number 2. This is the part behind the curtains that nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody can identify. Our competition they think, oh, just launch a challenge, everything's going to be great. There is absolutely a piece that is secondarily important for why we're moving so fast. And it's actually part of the comp plan. So having a challenge is what's getting them in. The 60-day waiting room is what's getting them moving. Get them in, get them moving. Get them in, 90-day challenge. Get them moving, 60-day waiting room. What a 60-day waiting room is it states that every person you personally enroll, they will sit on level 1, and you'll have up to 60 days to place them. So that way you don't rush and put somebody in the wrong place, or you don't make a mistake, or you're not forced to place somebody somewhere. And furthermore, not only will it do all those things, those are neat, but what it will allow you to do is continuously, over and over and over again, leverage your waiting room. This next piece right here is company culture. Does everyone understand what I mean when I say company culture? Culture means everybody does it. It's what you are, it's what you do. 90-day challenge is culture. Leveraging your waiting room is culture. So what I'm going to go through next is not theory, it's who we are as a company. So even if somebody else launched a 60-day waiting room, does not mean they're going to pull off the culture that we have with how this works. In a binary, it drives the right behavior of people getting in. Get in now, get placement, get in now, get placement, get in now, get in now, and that's good behavior because people are getting in now. Unfortunately, once they get in now, they're thinking, well, I didn't have to do anything and just people should appear below me. It drives a behavior of laziness, complacency, and entitlement. Hey, we're supposed to be building my inside, outside, inside leg, and you're over there building that leg, and you're supposed to be building. Anyone ever heard these things before, right? So that's the downside of it. What if you could create binary-like behavior without the downside of a binary? That is the 60-day waiting room. So what we have, guys, is a scenario where you will leverage, never stack. You'll never stack, you'll only leverage. Here's how it works. Please keep in mind that what I'm going to go over is culture. This is not theory. This is what happens like clockwork all day long. So here's you. You have 3 people in your waiting room. A, B, C. They each have $1,000 in volume. You call up A, B, and C. You say, hey guys, first one to go get to 3,000 in volume, I'm going to give you the other 2. This person goes and does 3. This person tries, only does 2. This person doesn't do anything. Your 3,000 in your waiting room just turned into 6,000. You just doubled your waiting room volume. What did you do extra? Nothing. All you did, if you're taking notes, write this down, is you ran a contest. That's it. You ran a contest. You leveraged your waiting room. But this group is now connected, but they're still all where? Still all in your waiting room, because you have not placed the winner yet. So now you call up your 3 top leaders. Your 3 top leaders, they all do 10,000 in volume. You say, hey, 3 top leaders, guess what? I got 6K in my waiting room right now. First person to go do 5,000 in volume, I'm going to give you 6K. 15K, 13K, 12K. You just turned your 30,000 in volume into 28, 40,000 in volume, and you turned your 33K that you started with into 46K. You just added 50% of your volume right on top because you ran 2 contests. Now, some of you right now doubt the efficiency of this or how effective this will work. So let's try it. Hey everybody, I got $50,000 in my waiting room. First one of you to go do 50 is going to get it. Which one are you going to win? So you cannot tell me that you doubt this will work, because you all just about jumped out of your chair to go get the 50,000 in volume once you realized that you could have got it if you went and did it first. This works so well, it's scary. And not only does this work, but what you guys are seeing is a linear example. You're seeing your waiting room. What you're not seeing, hello, doesn't this guy have a waiting room? What about this guy? What about these guys? What about these guys? It's contest on top of contest on top of contest on top of contest on top of contest. It's an absolute mayhem and frenzy to earn people's waiting rooms. And it's culture. So it doesn't have to be something as big as this. It could just be a guy saying, okay, you two, welcome to the team. All right, the first one of you to go get 2, you're going to get the other one in your team. Now they're a director. Here's how you break a director fast. Go and roll 2 ESSs and just say to them, the first one to go refer 2 ESSs, I'll give you the third. Boom, they're a director in 48 hours. It's a whole lot quicker than, hey, you need to get it done in the next 30 days to get Rising Star done. That's a contest. But wait a second, he's still in my waiting room. Hey guys, what's happening? This is my team, that was my waiting room. Hey team, regional director, let me put all your directors on the phone with me. So they put all their directors on the phone. Hey guys, first one to break a director, I'm going to give you a director. Boom, they go break a director, I go place him in their group. But where's he coded to? Me. So the fast start bonuses in his group that are placed down in their group are coming up to me, and if this person here is an ambassador, so is the 2 to 4% residual, and if they're a star ambassador, so are the star bonuses. Tie this whole comp plan together, guys. It's brilliant. Okay? So contests are not theory. This is our absolute culture. Here's what usually happens in somebody's first 45-day run. In the last 7 days of your run, your volume will approximately double in your first 45-day run. Approximately. Meaning if you do 80K in your first 38 days, if you have a good upline that knows what you're doing, they'll turn that 80K into 150K. Like that. It's funny because we'll get somebody, we're like, look, we're going to take you to the top in 45 days. And they get to 80K in 38 days and they start to panic. Like, don't worry, you're right on track. As long as you get to somewhere between 75 and 100, we'll push it over. And the reason why is in your first 60 days, aka your 45-day run, everybody sits in a waiting room. Everyone's in a waiting room, meaning you can move every single person in the group somewhere, but you got to leverage, never stack. And if you're working with somebody that knows how to do this, they start looking at the waiting rooms going, oh, this is a field day. We had a guy who was a president council member at a company, came to us, and he was at 83, 84K with 4 days left in panic mode. His upline, who's one of my front lines, who's just a beast at this, looks at his waiting room. They had 200 people in the waiting room. Not personally, but all throughout the group. There was 200 new people that signed up that could be moved. So he goes in there, runs 30 contests, cleans out the whole thing. The 84,000 volume goes to 175,000 in volume in 4 days. I had a guy, last guy I did a launch plan with, was at 92K in volume with 6 days left to go. Took it from 92K to 170K in the last 6 days. And I know it's like, I can't wrap my arms around that. It's not because of the fact that everybody wants something for nothing. Specifically if they feel like they're going to lose to someone else. And it's amazing how much people can do if they really begin to apply themselves. And they really start to do it when they realize they can get something that they didn't do themselves, aka something you did. So the greed principle kicks in, something for nothing. When you're like, guys, I've got this over here, you go do this, and I'll give it to you. Usually what happens is you'll get $1 for every dollar you place. Meaning if you place 10,000 in volume, you'll get 10,000 or more in return. That's very different than a binary where you're just giving people away. Here you go, here you go, here you go. For every 10,000 you got in your waiting room, you'll run a contest that'll bring you 10,000 back. And guys, this is the second reason why we are in momentum, is because we've got thousands of people every day running contests, triggering that psychological principle for people to be like, oh, I need a place, I need a place, I need a place, I need a place. For the purposes of the shoot of the video, I'm going to have you hold the question to the end. So this is your 60-day, okay, this is how a 60-day waiting room works. This is how you leverage contests. And if you put that together with everything else that I've taught you guys today in terms of enrolling and placing in depth and the residual coming back to you in the enroller tree, when you tie the whole thing together, it's really an unstoppable force of a plan once you get into it and you start going. Now, if today was too much for you and it was like, hey, I don't understand comp plans at this depth or this level, it's really easy. Stars and cars, stars and cars, stars and cars. Go put 12 people in a car, hit the top, go help 5 people hit the top, make 75 grand a month. That's the comp plan, okay? On the way, leverage your waiting room. So, with that, guys, that's the comp plan. It's an entirety. And, I hope that you guys saw something there that you could say, wow, this is unique, it's new, it's fresh, and also it's taking care of all people at all levels, and it's driving the right behavior. So get started, get going, get moving, and put this thing into play.